Sure.
Okay. I think you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, good morning, everyone. So today, okay, let me record this session.
I'm recording it because I
Okay.
organize it.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine then. Yeah. Today, we are going to check what are the capabilities that we can do in the bill of materials tab. So in this, what are the things we are going to cover today? One is that in bill of materials we have two type of BOMs that is computed on name bill of materials, and we can switch the views. There are three types of views are there that we're going to look at the views how it is going to work, and we can going to create a bomb which from the complete bomb, and we'll name the respective bomb, and which we will be saving it as a name bill of materials, and I'll show you how to modify the bomb so that it will show you the versions, and we can save it as a version, then you can review it between the versions. So what are the changes happened on the previous bill of materials, and what are the changes, what you're going to add to the respective bill of materials, you can you can verify over the Excel sheet along with the color coding, and we can compare the BOM between the versions as well as between the bill of materials. So let me go into the interface. Okay, take a look at it. So what exactly bill of materials is? A bill of materials is a tabular listing of the components of SolidWorks PDM or item, or a SolidWorks assembly of a drawing or a part. So here, as I told, we have multiple, we have two types of things, bombs. That is, one is computed bomb and one is the name bomb. Coming to this section, so we have a first drop down here, that is type of bill of materials. So we can, in PDM, we can create multiple bill of materials. Like based on the columns, we can create our own bill of materials and we can define it. So what are the columns we need to visible whenever you select any part or assembly or any drawing, what are things should be visible in the interface that need to be export, that we can able to create, that we can create and we can define on our own. In that way, we have created multiple bombs here that you can see. These are the namings of the particular bomb. Bomb is one bill of material which is having specific columns. In the same way, another bomb is there that is new. You can see the format is a little bit different. It is having the columns are type, category, who checked out this file, or who has checked out in, and like in which location the file you can found, you can see, and the version of the the present file. So like this, which kind of view you want, you can able to create. The PDM administrator will create, and he can administrator can give a permission for the user, then only they can able to see this particular things. If I'm the if you want a high level bomb, just the manager want to see who is working on this particular file or who has checked out the file, they can able to see this. And again, it's based on permission. If someone is not able to see any of the drop domains, it's again it's up to permission. If the administrator might have disabled this permission for you. So this is type of bill of materials that we can able to create. In the same way, we below this option, we have three different types of views. That is intended, parts only, and top level. So I'm just selecting on main assembly. So here, now it is defaultly it is selected to intended. So intended means what will happen? Complete assembly structure will be displayed in this section. In the view section, you can able to view the complete format. So how your assembly will be structured in an SolidWorks interface, in the same way intended structure will be there. If you want to see only the parts in the respective assembly structure in the BOM view means you can select parts only method. So now you can see only the parts which is in the respective assembly. In the same way, we have another option that is top level only. So when you select this, the top level structure will be displayed in the bill of material section, so that you can export and in which way you want, in which like view you want to reflect the BOM, you can select in these three options. So again, we have another option here, show tree. So now I'm selecting this tree and I can able to check where exactly my like where is this assembly in the particular tree. If you want to see this tree, you can able to see. If you don't want to show this like see this tree, you can hide this tree along with this particular option like this. So these are the three things from the left section. And coming to this activated BOM. So normally, generally, like all the users will be having this option. The only thing this activated and not activated will do is whenever you convert this particular BOM, as I told, this is a computed BOM. We are going to convert this computed BOM into name bill of materials, right? So to switch automatically to name bill of materials, generally what we'll do, we'll go here and we'll select this bill of materials option. So to avoid this, so we have one option that is activated, not activated. If it is activated means, if it is activated means I can able to see this particular section here, switch view. So I can switch from bill of materials to general bill of materials. It is like generally, again, it's a permission based. If the user doesn't, if the user is only seeing not activated and unable to select the drop down means, this permission might be disabled from the administration level. So at that time, you cannot able to see this particular like switch bar, like toggle button, you cannot able to view. Again, you need to go here and you need to switch from this particular option. So this is all about this non-activated and not activated and activated button. And sometimes like you may, whenever you select BOM, for example, now I have selected this particular assembly. Now, if you don't want to see this assembly structure in the view means you can hide it. So what will happen? The assembly or the file or any document which you selected can be hide from this particular thing. And when you select this, it can be displayed in the view section. So in the from the naming section only, it is like it is declaring that show selected and hide selected. So if you want to see the selected assembly in the view section, you can show selected. If you don't want to see the selected assembly or part in the bill of materials view section, you can hide it. And we have another option, that is you can view the file as built and as latest file. So
What is the benefit of hiding it?
sorry.
What is the benefit of hiding it?
It's like kind of thing, like for example, now I know this is the parent, like the root as assembly file. If I don't want to see, and again while exporting, I might be having I want only the child parts which is reference to that particular file. So now I can hide this particular assembly. I can export this to CSV. Again, so like one extra option, maybe like I can say it's a like advantage, or it's one extra benefit that given as an option. If you want to export only the child parts, you don't want to have a parent file on this, you can use this option.
All right, yeah.
Okay, and so like here, what will happen whenever you check in any any part in any document, any part in assembly in the PDM, as you know, it will create a version. Whenever you check in any part, any document, it will create a version. In the same way, you can get the particular bill of materials based on the version as well. So now it's selected. So now when this assembly was created, I would if I create a version 1, when I select a version 1, you can able to see only one particular section, right? So after saving this, you then in the second version, you imported all the components to the respective assembly, then you checked in again. So in the second version, I can able to see all the reference files to the respective assembly. In the same way, like you can able to get multiple versions. And anyway, like whenever you check in, whenever you made a check in for any file, the version will be created. In the same way, for BOM also, you can able to get all the bill of materials views based on the version. So n number of versions will be created. In the same way, you can able to get all the views of the respective versions. In the same way, we have two like configuration level, multiple configurations level can be created, and the same can be the same view can be displayed in the bill of materials view section. So these are some of the tabular toolbars which can be helpful for the user to just make his modification based on his requirement. So any doubts on these particular options till now?
No, I think it's just a filter, right, to help the user to see different things.
Yeah.
I would want to go to the question we had yesterday, related to saving, the BOM.
Yeah. I will go to I will go to the next. The next point is the same thing. I will just start
Yeah.
with saving BOM and comparing the BOM.
Is that dynamic?
No. It's like now I'm just showcase this thing. Now it is the right section. Like everything is saving, comparing. Everything is here in the right section. I can go this.
The question is, when you save it, does it
Mhm.
change dynamically or it becomes a stationary?
Yeah, no. Actually, like whenever you save this particular bill of materials, it will be it will be saved as a name bill of materials, and it will be the one single file. When you make another modification, the existing file will not be modified. It will be the same.
Okay. When you save the BOM, so
Mhm.
initially when we discussed, we said there is the original BOM coming from the 3D definition,
Mhm.
and there is an engineering BOM that you can add stuff to it, add, entities and that sort of stuff into the BOM.
Yeah.
When you save it, do you consider that as an engineering BOM, or what actually is an engineering BOM?
So generally, we can have two BOMs. Generally, like whenever you save anything in a PDM, we will get one particular BOM. In the same way, from SolidWorks also, you can save this particular bill of materials, and it can be viewed in this particular section.
Yeah.
So that particular BOM, whenever you make an update, it will be automatically updated in this view also.
What is the purpose of having a saved BOM if you already have the BOM that's driven by the version? So if you change your assembly and you post it again, the BOM will change and will get a new version or revision, whatever that is, right? So what's the purpose of saving it?
Mm, can you repeat the question like this?
So yeah, let's say you have an assembly you start with and you issue it, and then you have a change request, you modify it.
Okay.
When you modify the assembly and you approve it, you'll have a new version of the BOM that's going to be linked to that assembly. So
Yes.
you already have the before and the after. What I'm asking is, what's the functional purpose as a user? What's the functional purpose of saving a BOM?
Just to compare the versions of the for example, what will happen generally there is some adhesive and for example, this particular assembly is completely related to the SolidWorks model, right? So we want to add something, I can say paint or adhesive things, some other things which is not related to the particular designing thing. We need to add for the
Okay.
bill of materials. So those
So
things we can add.
yeah. So let me try to rephrase it. So what you're saying is that the BOM that comes from the assembly, it's
Mhm.
locked to the assembly. The definition comes from the assembly.
Yeah.
When you save it, you can add entities to that BOM.
Yes.
They're not necessarily related to the 3D. They're not being driven by the 3D. And because you saved it, then you can have multiple versions that are saved. And once you have those versions which are saved, you can run a comparison in between them. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. And on top of this, like as you asked, why we need to save as a bill of materials. There's another point is like when you save this, we'll be having an option to insert columns in the respective views so that you can add the other components which is not related to design things like because now the whatever the assembly, the views we are seeing completely into design oriented, like assembly parts, drawing will be like will be reflected.
Yeah,
If you have,
I can actually correlate to that, you know, because the design definition, for example, doesn't hold machine data.
yes.
So if we generate machine data in the system and then we attach it to the entities in the saved BOM, you know, then we can interrogate that BOM and you know and publish those, you know, machine files, you know, for production, for example. Because
Yes.
that's not a design entity, you know, it's an external software that will generate those files, but we can actually link those to the design entities.
Yes, exactly. And this can, like as you told, now we have one BOM here, and again we are generating so named BOM like extra work. Like I can say as an extra work to add the like external documents to the respective BOM. We are doing this, but like anyhow, like after this PDM, we are going to do the manage implementation. There, you don't need to do all these things. Like whenever you select a BOM, directly you can add those like, external properties. Maybe as I can say external PDF you want to attach, external adhesive thing, paint thing if you want to add. Directly you can add and you can say that BOM. No need to convert that BOM into name of bill of materials.
Yeah. So let me go a step further. So if I want to pull a milling file for a specific entity from the saved BOM, you know, can I, you know, interrogate the PDM to give me, let's say I want, you know, a milling file for the first entity in the BOM, you know, so there will be a milling file for, I don't know, let's say the aluminum machining and cutting center that will be linked to the first entity in the BOM. So we save the BOM, we process the file, we link it to the first entity. How do I request the PDM to issue that file to me? Can I interrogate that BOM? Can I actually say, you know, go and fetch this file that corresponds to that specific entity?
No reason, like actually I didn't got the point how exactly like you're expecting.
So what I'm trying to get to, you know, design will create an assembly, right?
Yeah.
Let's assume for a second that it's an assembly full of aluminum extrusions.
Okay.
So those aluminum extrusions will require a definition or a milling file or a cutting file or something like that. You
Cut
know, let's
list, I
just
can say cut list.
for the sake of discussion, right? A cut list, yeah, for example.
Okay.
So that cut list can be done, you know, before production will need it. It can be done, you know, on a project level. So they can, you know, fetch that assembly, put it in the software, and then create cut lists that correspond to that assembly. So when I issue that job to the machine, I will have to go in and pull that file out. So can I actually, you know, how do I get that file out, you know, in a sort of semi-automatic or automatic way, you know, because if I have a production order, the production order is going to tell me, build me one of these assemblies. So how do I, you know, request the file from the PDM to get it to the machine? You know, how do I interrogate that saved BOM, you know, and get the corresponding files to run the machine?
Like for example, like I'm just like rearranging thing. For example, when we have a like when we are saving this particular BOM in the form of name bill of materials, we are adding some of the things, maybe the cut list and all we are adding. So that particular name bill of materials has to send for the machinery users, right? This is what you meant, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, whenever we save this particular name bill of materials, so let me. So again, it will be going to the respective workflow. Again, as of now, we can see whenever you say this, it is going to work in process state. So from here, if you want to as of now, I don't have answer for this, like how exactly we can move. So I need to check like in what perspective, whether whenever you because the thing is, yeah, my question again, like once the part, everything is released, then only you are going to generate bill of materials, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So like if you're generating bill of materials, that's a like final bill of materials, or again you're going to view the bill of materials.
No, it's a fine. Let's call it a final.
Gautam,
Yeah.
I think just to explain you, maybe then correct me if I'm wrong, but just to put it very simply, we have parts in assembly. in assembly. And each part, for example, if needs to be cut on a certain machine. So once is that we model it, purely from design perspective, we model it in SolidWorks. Yeah. And then we will create a DXF file that we would be sending to the machine. Yeah.
Yes.
Or say some other kind of NC file that we are sending for milling, or it depends on the machine. Yeah.
Okay.
So we created that file. So what we are asking that is there some mechanism through this bill of material that you can create links, you can get those files, you can use them later when you pull this bill of material out in fabrication.
As of now, like as I told now, I need to work on this. But whenever you create this bill of materials, name bill of materials, I can try to push automatically, because as you told, like once everything is finalized, only you're going to create bill of materials. So once the BOM is created, name bill of materials, I can able to push to the respective states. But again, I need to check like how exactly I can do that. I can get back to you for this particular point.
Yeah. So essentially, sooner rather than later, we want to, let's say, automate the delivery of the data to the machines. So it could be very easy at the end. It could be just a barcode that's linked to the assembly. The production will get the order of making, I don't know, 100 of a certain assembly. And then all we want is to pull the data required to build those 100 assemblies and then separate that into different machines and just get it built. So it could be just a relocation of data from the PDM to a user computer, and then the user will then feed it to whatever process they need to feed it. We have to look into, what's the best way of doing it. I can give you an example of what we've done in aerospace quite a while back. So what we've done is that we had parts we were milling on the machine, and those parts were locked in a nest. So you had a specific nest that generated a specific number of parts, by names and by quantities. So whenever we had to build something, what we've done is that the guy that was on the machine was scanning a barcode of the work order. The barcode was having a list of parts that, or list of nests that we need to build. And we just, went and fetched the milling data that was corresponding to those parts. And we moved that to a folder on the machine, and the guy was just, loading the milling file and running it. So what we've done in essence is that we created milling files for specific parts, and every time there was a demand, the guy essentially just scanned the barcode, and the data was very simply moved, from the data storage into a location of our preference.
Okay.
So, if you look at flat parts, flat, we're talking about sheet metal parts, that are maybe cut or bent or both. In those, for those parts, what you need obviously is a cutting file, which is a DXF. We could also load a 3D file and the software will unfold it, that's also possible. But for the bent state, we need a drawing, right?
Yes, yes.
So, depending on what the operation is, it could be as easy as, having the ID of the part in a barcode, and when you scan a barcode, you either see a drawing or you move the DXF. That's essentially what we would want.
Yeah, then I got, but again, before commenting, I will try to try this. So
Yeah.
then I can say in what way we can do this process, we can achieve this process.
Yeah, just make an assumption that if you can run 2 trials, the first trial being that we make a 3D file of a sheet metal piece.
Okay.
We make a corresponding DXF file for the unfolded shape.
Okay.
And then we want to move the DXF onto a location that will be used to do the cutting file for the machine. So the guy that will have to build something, he will pull, a day work, let's say if you'll get, production orders for a full day, right? He will pull the jobs, and by pulling the jobs, he will get the DXFs. those DXFs will be structured by thickness, and then he will just nest those parts as per the thickness required, create cutting files, and send it to production. Or, if we're talking about the Trump machine, for example, Trump machine requires each file to be processed as a part file, and then each file will have its correspondent cutting file. And then all of those are loaded in the software, nested automatically, and then cut. So it means it's sort of the same process,
Yeah, I think Gautam, what we discussed, maybe it can be done in a way that the way you are, we copy the files, paste them as reference as a bill of material item. The problem would be then, I think this is something you need to investigate at your point about the versioning, about the revisions, like something changes on the part, how do you actually move the cutting file along with it? Something, a part changes state, assembly changes the state. What do you do with all those bill of material items? Because at the end, we can do it, maybe we could do it in many ways, but we also need to check what happens if something changes, because that would
be but that's easy to manage, because you have an assembly that's been issued, that's an official assembly. You attach the files to it, and then you can process them as production. When the assembly gets reissued, it won't have any files attached.
Yeah, no, see, that's what I remember that the last time I was using the system, we used to have custom properties, like more custom properties, milling, turning, some production operations. So we were not using those in design, but when you have this templates essentially on the top left corner, where you can compute different types of BOMs, so you can create different templates. Under those templates, you can pull in different custom properties, and then you can link them to some data that we can use to get whatever we want. So the parameters using those properties, I think that is easy, fairly easy. I think the main problem is how do you actually practically link the files and move them and then pull them where you need them to.
Yeah.
Yes, different, like there's like I have noted the points. So after this, I can work and I can show you what exactly and how we can achieve this particular points.
Yeah, just make the assumption that whatever file we're gonna use for machines is gonna have the same name as the design entity.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might be a DXF, it might be something else, but you always will keep the same name. So, I'm pretty sure that in the API, we can, use a script or something, and we say, we want this file, but we want, to have that file type.
Yeah, as you for example, if you're converting any bend part into DXF, so we can have a similar name. There is no big challenge in that particular thing.
No, we want the name to be exactly the same, not similar.
Yeah. Exactly. So for example, I can see here, right? SW 1-0. If this is a part, if I'm converting this into DXF, I can have a similar name. There's no issue with this. That we can achieve. And again, how and in which way, that we can discuss, and I will let you know.
Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, in this one, just something more to add, that we need possibly we need to create some more attributes to designate what type of file that is also.
Sure, we can do that.
Yeah, it's crystal clear.
I think once after this call, now when you're free, just let me know, so we can discuss and what are the variables and what kind of driving variables we can able to decide for maybe the DXF file or anything. Then we can do the same thing in the data cards as well.
Sure. Yeah, let's move with this. Let's save the BOM and see how we can make.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah, where was okay. Now these are some of the left thing, the type, the views and type of bill of materials, and showing the version, and it's all about the tree. So now as I told, if you want to have a bill of materials where you can compare between the versions and between the type of bill of materials, we are going to, and before that when you have a complete assembly, you can export this. Okay, now we have a now we have a complete assembly here. We want to export this. So you have one option called open as a CSV file. If you click on this one, click this option, and you will be able to see one Excel is open, and you can able to export all the complete view into Excel sheet, and this Excel sheet can be converted as XML format and can be sent into ERP team. So this is one method to export your complete view PDM bill of material view into Excel sheet. So here is an option open as CSV file. You can click this option and directly it will go to the Excel sheet for Excel format, and you can save this as a BOM. And we have one more thing, that is save as, where we can save it as a BOM, name bill of materials. I'm just selecting this, save as. Now we'll click save. Now here we have an option to add something on this level itself, like now already the name bill of materials is created. You can see here it's SW 100204. This is the name bill of materials. Here I can able to insert some things, like maybe the adhesive parts or the paint or the external documents that we want to add, we can add, or else we can switch the column. Here it will directly go to the respective parts. And we have another thing, that is we can position the numbers. For example, if I click here, it is asking from which number you want to start. I will say just I can start from 1. And what should be the increment? Okay, as I will just say 1 should be the increment. If I click OK, we can get the positions based on the reference level, child parts, and all will be getting the respective position numbering of the respective for all the respective files. So this we can change. You can say 1 and 10. So like this, we can even position the numbers. And once everything is changed, we can save this file and we can switch to this particular thing. This is file. Yeah. So now still this file is checked out. Now, if I want to compare, as I told, whenever the file is created, whenever you check in any file, the version will be created, right? So I will just click on compare now. Let me take some other file which is already having some, because I have created some versions to show you how exactly it will look. And here we have another functionality, that is compare. So when you compare, you need to like have a look on one thing. So from which version you are selecting. Now, if I click on compare, the third version will be compared with other two versions. For example, now I will be selecting first version, which is the basic one which is created. Now, if I click on compare, I can see this is the first version, right? So from this, I'm comparing with the other two versions, what exactly happened. So I'm just selecting the second version, which was checked in. I can see some green color coding part with the braces. So what exactly this means? So at the bottom, you can see either it is new, which is added to the respective part. And if it is orange, it is a modified. And if it is red, it is deleted. So color coding is like mentioned at the bottom. And here you can see, as I told, while before clicking on this compare, I selected version 1 and then I clicked on compare. So now the particular file is comparing with the version 1. Version 1 is a source file, and version 2 and version 3 are comparing now. So that's why we can able to see red color which is added on top of this to the particular second version. If I go to version 3, I can see this has been deleted because in first version it was not there. That's why it is showing it has been deleted. In the same way, I will close the comparison. I will select version 3, and now if I click on compare, if I go to first version, it is saying this has been added in the third version. If I go to second, it is showing these two are the new for the second version. If I go on third, it is showing like no color coding is there. Saying it is clearly saying that okay, like this is the source model which is going which is going to be compared with other two. And here at the left side, you can see which are the source file that is comparing. And this is the comparison between the versions. Okay, in the same way, we can compare between the BOM. As you know, like we have multiple BOMs, right? As a user, whenever you click on the left side section, you will be able to see the multiple drop downs. In the same way, you can able to compare this with the BOM as well. So in this particular BOM, these are the few things which is added in the new added as new file. In the same way, we can go to new. At the left side section, we can see the base again.
Gautam, we have a question.
Yes,
Can you ask?
sir.
Yeah, Mr. Gautam, Rajesh with you.
Yes, sir.
I have a doubt. I want just ask you. Suppose we have created now version 2, version 3. Suppose revision status will be there. So where it will be storage the previous one?
In the sense like with the same version.
Yeah, suppose no, not same version. Suppose we initiated the bomb. Okay, 0
Okay.
it will come. And after that, some revision can be prepared. So revision 1 will come and 2 will come.
Yes.
Where it will go the previous one. Suppose I want to see what was the last time it was updated. So where it will be that file, yani that bomb.
See here in PDM, like you can able to create, like for example, when you are saving any file.
You get my point. Suppose new version it will run and people will work with them, no issue for that. But the record, like a previous one history, where we can find the document, what was the last time any revision one, what we updated in the new one.
That's what,
So
like that's what I'm saying. Like in PDM, as you know, like we have a concept called version, right? So what exactly version will do is it will copy the changes what you made on top of the same file. So that's why we have like the version will be created. Whenever you check in, it will create a version, right? So this is clear, right? So in the history, whenever you go, you can get this particular file.
yeah, that file, that history, if we want to see that one. So my question is that if you can see that history, it is okay, no issue for it. So where we can find that one, there's some any storage area where we can same file or somewhere else.
No, that's what it's again up to user. Normally, whenever you make a check-in, whenever you save a file, it will be overrated on top of this existing file, which will create a version. At any point of time, you can go back to any of the versions. For example, let me show here. I think for the part, like if you show in a part, it will be clear for you. So yeah, where version files are there. As of now, see this part is having three versions. One which is created, and as I told, whenever you check in, it will create another version. And from in-work, when you move from in-work to document, this another version is created. So now, if you want to get this file, you can able to click on this get file automatically. You can able to see that file with the older version. You can see now it is showing second or third version. Means it's an old version file. If I click on the get latest version. See, this is the present version file. So for example, just think I'm adding some bolt to this. Okay, I'm saving, I'm just checking on this file. And I'm adding one bolt to this respective file, okay? So whenever I add this bolt to the respective file, again, you have this particular option to override the existing version. What will happen is, now this file without bolt is there, no? If you override the existing version, it will not create a version and you will not able to see this file also. Again, up to the user. If you want that particular version, you can able to create this version. If you like really think that okay, this version will be needed. So for example, I'm just adding one bolt to this. Yes, it's an imported file. Okay.
Yeah, it's okay. We can understand. Maybe you can add,
Yeah, like,
add a cutout or something.
to precise your thing, like yeah, whenever you make any changes, history will be recorded. It will be creating each and every version will be created. If you at any point of time, you can go back to history and you can get that file.
Yeah.
And the same file can be pushed to the next state, like from one state to another state for approval. That will be created as a new version.
System में जब तक आप उसको change कर देगा ना,
ऑटोमेटिक चेंज
वो automatically उसकी history रखता है, history में रखता है. But revision ये है कि जब approval process में जाता है तो revision मिलती है.
yes, here should be also control. Now, when you are updating, suppose version 1, version 2, version 3, it's activities if you are doing. So automatically it will be changed. So how you will control? Suppose version 1, some people they are using, some people they are version.
No, it is showing you all the time. You have to get the version 1. You can get the previous version if you want to, but you will be seeing the new version.
Yeah. For that also we have one option that, for example, I said like if the people can work with the older version, and for that two things are there, like standard operating procedure. One thing that you, whenever you're working, like if you want to work on a latest file, you should be, before working, you should see this file, okay, whether it is having a latest version or not. This is one standard operating procedure. Or else we have another option where every time you will be getting a latest version only. So the loophole here is, for the other people, for example, only for CAD design engineers, they can able to get the old file from this particular, they can able to access the like older version file also in if they want to use. But for other people, other users who is not part of a design team, they cannot able to see the older version file. As you told, if you want to access the older file, we cannot able to access that file. If I make this as every time you should see the latest version files means, that's the two things are there. We can approach in two method. One is having a latest version file every time, or else user has to take care which version of file he's working.
That's clear, Mr. Gautam, because I want just to understand there should be the control from the design engineer, and as you told, there will be the control because all people should not get the accept the old version.
Yes, yes.
Clear now, no problem.
Yes, clear, right?
Thank you.
Yeah. Assembly. Take this. Okay. So now I'm just exporting this.
Gautam, Gautam, in this computer BOM, the name BOM, can you delete a part? I don't think you should be able to delete a part.
No, we cannot.
Right?
We cannot delete the part. We can add something and we can hide the respective thing. And whenever you insert something, it will create a version. That's it. We cannot able to delete anything on this part.
Okay, so you can create other items, but you cannot delete a part.
Yes, exactly.
Computed from 3D.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And yeah, like what I was saying, like whenever you make this comparison, you can export the same bill of materials, like the same view into Excel sheet. So here you can see, so it comes along with the braces and the brackets. So brackets indicates the file has been deleted from the view from the version that you are comparing, and braces are showing that okay, this has been modified in the respective version. So the same indication can be exported into CSV as well from the PDM interface level.
Gautam, I have a question that's quite important, I think. So it's more related to, the prime products, as we call them. So whenever we have mass production, what we want is to have a complete correlation in between the PDM data and the ERP data. So I'm pretty sure, but just confirm that that's true. But so the PDM has functionality to move data to databases within, through XML files and stuff like that. But manage actually can communicate directly to the ERP, right? So manage should be able. So when we look into the BOM that you have on the screen at the moment, so if I want to make, the same entities in the ERP, and I want to make a BOM in the ERP, PDM is able to communicate directly to the ERP and create this, structure in the ERP, right? Create items and BOMs, related to this product directly in the ERP, right?
From the PDM level, yes, we can directly export this to as an XML format. The BOM, whatever we're creating, we can directly export it to XML. We can trigger this particular functionality in the workflow itself. No need of human intervention, so it will automatically generate. But from the managed level, like I need to confirm on this point whether how we can able to link, because till now I never worked on this direct manage DB connection with ERP. So I need to confirm on this point on the manage.
My understanding during the commercial discussions was that manage can talk to the ERP to get raw material data. So when we attach materials, to our designs, we can actually use the materials that we have, in the ERP. So they match with names and numbers. So we have a direct correlation in between design and raw material we have in the ERP. And as far as I understand, during the commercial discussion, they were saying that the manage can communicate in both ways to the ERP, so that there's a two-way communication in between manage and ERP systems. Because that's quite important, because when designers create a design, we want to have a list of materials that actually corresponds to what we have, in our database in the ERP. And vice versa, we want the product and the BOM and all the parts to be generated in the ERP using design data. We obviously don't want to do that manually. And probably, we don't want to do that semi-automatically using the XML file either, because, that's not the best way of doing it. I think that's something we have to explore, because that's quite an important aspect as well.
Yeah, this we can, I will, we can discuss on this point. And but one thing here, yes, we can import any external DB into the manage, that I can tell you. But again, up to because till now I never worked on ERP direct manage integration with the manage. So we can, I can talk with Sandeep on this part, and we can come to this back later on this.
Maybe touch base with Matas as well, because that's coming from him.
Okay, fine, then we can discuss more on this point.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is all about this particular bill of materials. So is there any questions or any challenges do I want to explain again, or how we can do this?
So what sort of entities we can add in the BOM, and how are those linked to so for example, if we have a database of standard components, hinges, handles, whatever else we have, to build a product that we might not want to include in the actual 3D, cables and all sorts of other stuff that we know the distances, connectors, VMSs and that sort of stuff. Because, for example, if we're looking into the VMSs, we might not actually have a full 3D of, VMSs are this digital signs that display information. We might not have the entire breakdown, maybe those are pre-issued by suppliers, and we want to attach those, into the BOM. And we want to maybe put some cables in and stuff like that. Obviously, those have to be linked to ERP entities, because otherwise we don't know what those are. So how is the relation working? When
yeah, yes.
Yeah, so if I have a cable and it has a certain item number and a name, but doesn't exist in design, how do I add it in?
Yeah, again, if some of the parts, which is if you want, we have that another option that is copy and paste as reference, right? So the only thing physically the file, just consider I have one file, which is I can say this is a library folder where I'm saving all these cables, everything. So I want to just it should be a part of bill of materials where I'm exporting this bill of materials. So there I can just copy, and where I need to make a reference. Like if I want to make a reference for this particular bill of assembly, I can check out this particular bill of material. Already opened. Okay. Out.
Because the same applies for boards, for example, So one thing that I'm still struggling with is that, so there's two things, right? One is the standard elements like bolts and nuts and washers and stuff like that, which we can introduce through a library in SolidWorks, but that will have a name that doesn't correspond to our ERP entity. It doesn't know what it is. I can put a certain definition of a bolt, but from a system point of view, the system doesn't understand what it is because it's not linked to the ERP. So that's one thing that, it's a bit problematic. The other one that's problematic is the making sections in what's the module that you can do it based on line models, based on structural entities. So when you have Bilal, how is that called? Sorry, yeah, when you do it in weldments, right? You're picking sections, but those sections, they have their own names, and those names do not necessarily correspond to the to the entities that we have, and they don't have the same names and numbers as the ERP entities. So if somebody, is trying to do a structure and is using weldments to do it faster, when we build a BOM, that BOM doesn't have any correlation with the ERP.
Okay.
So I think those two things, this link to the ERP, it's quite important for me personally, because we don't want designers to go through and do it manually to attach, data to relate whatever object they're doing with the ERP. That should be, should be done by the system. I'm pretty sure it's possible, because that's, quite a big part of it. Because if they add a bolt or a nut, and they put it in the BOM, that BOM, will have an object that we don't know what it is. We know it's a bolt, we know the size of it, but we can't correlate that entity with the ERP entity. So our chain supply won't know what to buy, because, they'll have to go in and filter by hand and search for the entity.
And like the other option is like you need to convert like bolt as a part, then you need to save it as in a separate folder. And I think then will this issue like the solution can be solved in ERP if you're converting all those bolts and washers, like everything into as a part.
I know, but we're talking about a database driven system, and we said that we are having a communication with the ERP.
Yes, like for this part, as I told, like I will have a word with Sandeep on this specifically for connecting with the DB, because I told I have not worked on this till now. But I will discuss and I'll let you know on this particular part.
The weldments and standard elements, for me, that's the first thing to start, looking at.
Sure. I will cross check and I will let you know.
Go to one more point for this. When you create the bill of material and it shows, can you switch the tab? Can you go to?
Well, one thing to do to solve weldments would be to simply go and redefine the entities based on our ERP names, because at the end the name of the entity, it's defined in the system in the library. So if we reformat that to match the ERP, when you make the BOM, the name will match.
So how we used to do it for all the standard components was we were not using them directly from SolidWorks library, but rather if there was a mechanical component, it will have an article number. That article number is defined in the properties. That number is coming from an ERP or another system, and then use only the components which are in the library, in your own library. You don't use them directly from SolidWorks. If you want to use it directly from SolidWorks, then you have to assign an article number to it, and then you can have it.
So now you're like you're getting those numbers from ERP, then you're making your own library and you're saving some like outside thing.
Yes.
The same library can be used from all of the users, right? That's what currently you're doing, right?
No, not currently. Not. I'm saying from the past.
Okay.
That is that's how it. But okay, we can come back to this point. The question with this was, when can you show the bill of material? Can you switch the view and show the bill of material? On the right.
This one?
Yeah. When you switch the view, it shows you. When you, in the browser window. Yeah, here. So now they are work in process. So when I compute a BOM, is it only for the user and nobody else can see it, or how is it?
No, again, like as of now, I'm not given condition. We have not configured this. So for example, I can give us like we can have a separate workflow also. As of now, it is following default workflow and it is in like general workflow state. And we can configure this based on some functionality or some conditions.
Yeah, this
As
should
of
have
now,
an approval process also. Like it should not be there.
yeah,
Just
that's why I asked you like previously, whenever the bomb is created, will you directly release the bomb or will you review that bomb? If you want to review that bomb, we can put somewhere in a such a way condition that it will go for workflow, then it can be released. We can do that. As of now, for this particular bomb, we have not configured anything in your vault. If you want to configure, we need to write some condition, then we can, yes, we can good to go and we can specifically tell in specifically give a condition in which workflow it should go and who should view this file. We can do that.
another thing is that let's say we computed a bomb
Okay.
from an assembly. So it has
Okay.
part list and maybe we added some consumables to it. We modified the bomb.
Okay.
And then we want to go one step further and we want to, so this is something that is computed from 3D, but we want to use the same or build on top of this bill of material. And we want to generate a list of items that need to be procured. You know, that would be totally different than what we have. So is there some functionality where either we use the same BOM or we compute another BOM or we link them together? Do they talk to each other if you have two bill of materials created for the same assembly?
Yeah, again, like if you want to see those in an assembly, again, you have that option to link it. But again, to precise, I need to work with you, like how exactly you're expecting that. Then I can see
What I
some of
mean
the
is,
examples from you.
yeah,
I
what I
can
mean
comment
is,
on this.
so I can get, I have a 6 meter box section, yeah.
Okay.
That 6 meter is a raw material length,
Okay.
and the two parts that I can get from it is say I have 2800 a part, 2800 millimeter long, another part 2900 millimeter. So you have say roughly 300 millimeter, 400 millimeters remaining.
Okay.
So, but that information is not coming from design. Whoever has to order material, they have to make all those estimates. And in
Yes.
actual 6 meter length of tubes we need.
Okay. Yes.
So,
Correct.
and the current process for bill of material generation here is such that they take our drawings and then they would estimate what is the order quantity
Okay.
of raw material. So what I'm asking is that if is this something that can also be done, or do we? What is the best way? This what is the what I'm essentially we know we have
Bilara,
a here.
Bilara,
We
I
can
know
do
where,
it.
yeah, I know where you're getting, but I think, you have to look at it, from a point of view of, each product you can build in a number of different ways. So
So I understand. My question is that is there like from their side, it's not something unique that we will be doing. What is the standard procedure of doing it elsewhere? How are the other people who are using PDM, how are they doing that? Is there something set up or are they, manually doing the calculations and building some templates and adding stuff to existing bill of material?
I think the raw material, BOQ shouldn't be linked to the PDM. So, for example, if you're doing a part on the trunk, and then for some reason you breach capacity and you can't do it on trunk and you change the production method, production will drive the material usage. So it shouldn't be linked to the PDM. We can link the milling files or cutting files or stuff like that, but we shouldn't link the overall material requirement. I think that's we can
So
maybe do through manage. We can make an interface there that somebody is able to enter that data if we want to record it, because that's a database driven system as well. It has its own database, but we shouldn't apply that in the PDM.
no, so see, doing that is not really a problem because literally, like from a practical point of view, what you can have is that it's an Excel file. So you export a CSV file or an
Yes.
XML file, and you have two tabs there. And one is the computed BOM from 3D. The other one is based on those numbers, those values. You in another sheet you do your working. You work out what you need.
Yeah, but what we could
from practical point of doing it that way, I don't mean that. What I mean is that when you are computing it here and you have an approval process, so BOM generation process, and then you have the BOM change. Are we going to do it here, or do we plan to do it in the ERP separately? So that what I am trying to get to is that, not
no, but what I'm
how we'll do it here.
Yeah, what I'm hoping that we could do is that when we issue a production order, or when we have a successful bid, the data will be, processed for the machines. So I'm hoping that the production orders will be driven through manage, because we can have a lot of, dashboards and stuff like that to support that. So if it's driven through manage, we can just issue the production order through manage. The operators will check the process data and backfill, how much material they need to do it. And then that could be, going through the approval process and then go to chain supply. So there is a production order that backs that up. There is a definition, the design definition in the background that backs that up, but it's done separately through manage, to ensure that that data is stored, recorded, approved, and then goes to chain supply for the, for the purchasing. I think that's a better way of managing it, because production then has the oversight of it, and the production team that runs the machines will generate the cutting files, put the demand for material inside, and then if we don't change the cutting files, we know that's exactly what we need. Now, if there is any changes of the manufacturing method or something like that, we'll have to account for that and see how we're going to manage that. But I would use PDM as a definition, and I would use manage as the system that will manage everything that goes past that point. I wouldn't try to, stick, that sort of, estimate inside the PDM. It's going to be difficult to manage from a department point of view.
So what we are saying that as of now, we will not set up any process for BOM approval in PDM, and we will wait for
No, that's correct.
And we will implement the process.
Yeah, that's what like meant. Like here, you need to do like an extra thing, like you're going to save this BOM as a name bill of materials, but in manage directly for the bill of materials like that you're going to get from the PDM like assembly. There directly you can add, and you can have multiple bill of materials as per your standards. Like for the machinery, one bill of materials, and you can have multiple bill of materials. Directly you can add those external files also. That is very convenient, I can say.
Yeah, I think, what I really like about manage is that it has dashboards and that sort of stuff that will help people to visualize, a number of different things. And manage, being an overlay of PDM, understands, exactly what the definition is. So we can bring this BOM to manage, through I don't know, production order, for example. So the production order will call for a number of different assemblies to be made. The guys will produce the milling files as soon as the bid has been successful. So we'll have that in the system. So that will be linked to the PDM, because obviously it's linked to the design definition. But then we can bring those out, assess the production guys will assess the consumption, they will put it in, and then we'll have over a production order, we'll have a raw material demand, and that can then go through the approval process, so that everybody will check it and see, how much we need, and then they can push it through, whatever interface onto chain supply to process the order. I think that's much more efficient, because, manage is a database in itself and can hold documents and can hold a lot of data. So even if you want to look at it from a point of view of material flow, manage will be able to give you dashboards through time and through production orders. And I think that's a very, very good functionality.
Does anybody have any questions? Any questions? So we are clear.
When this finish, can you send the report again so I can catch up on the models that always want to?
Sure.
No.
All right. So I think we can, as we said, we can discuss further on weldment cut list, managing it properly,
Sure,
linking
sure.
with ARP, linking of the cutting files with the bill of material, and controlling the process. So this is something we can discuss separately with you with the requirements of how exactly you want to do it, and then
Yes,
then
we can go further on this
yeah,
particular.
and I think we would like to do it sooner rather than later. So if you can set up, you can initially have initial discussion with Sandeep, and maybe within tomorrow or maximum day after tomorrow, we can set up something and we can go through it.
Yeah, we can do the same. Yes.
Yeah, I think the link to the ERP for me it's essential because we want to streamline the work. We want design to to do design and not necessarily to backfill data. So if you can talk to Sandeep and to Muatas in terms of what's the best way to bring in raw material data. So when we put something in the BOM, we said we have raw materials in the PDM, and I think we have an ERP number in the PDM. So all we need to do, we need to correlate the ERP number with the raw material used. So whenever they apply it, we should know what the ERP number is, and that's all we need to correlate data. And then the ERP number will do the rest, because already when we did the configuration, for the raw materials, I believe Bilal already requested the ERP number to be in the data card.
Yes, it is there. Yeah.
Yeah. So all we need to correlate those entities with the ERP, and that should be in some sort of automatic way. We can support on our end, but I'm hoping that either we do that through Manage or through PDM. I'm not sure. I think Manage would be preferred. If we can do it through Manage, because Manage communicates better with external databases. So that could be preferred, but all I'm telling you is that we've been told it's possible. I just don't know what that possible is. I wouldn't say the XLM file is the best way of doing it, because it's maybe if we put it in the bot, and then we literally export an XLM from the ERP and then import it, and we just check all the raw material and make sure that it complies. But I don't think that's the most elegant way. So just talk to the guys.
Yeah, that I will do.
Yeah,
Like, I
and
will
let
have a
us
word with
know.
them, and then we can get back to the how we can approach in a good way that will get to you.
All we need is to fill the ERP number into the raw materials we have in the database. That's it, nothing else. And then the ERP number will drive everything else.
Sure. Then I will have a word, Mauritius.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Okay, Bilal. And anything is there, like any question on this, any work user interface level, anything is there, just let me know. Like you can make some points in Excel, you can send it to me. Like if you want to like know how exactly they need to work, means I can send you the short video or something else that might be useful for the users.
What's the normal practice in managing the BOMs from a process point of view, from a flow point of view? Because if you make designs and you process designs, then you get them released as official releases, as official revisions. But then if you start adding extra data to the BOMs, that has to follow a secondary process, right?
As of now, presently for current implementation, we are not like for the other customers also, we are not more focused on bill of materials as of now. So that's the reason. Like I cannot, I'm not sure on this part, but we can create some process in the manage as you told. We can push and we can have workflow specifically, and we can trigger the revision as well. That we can do for this.
We need to check internally as well on how we manage these work orders and production orders in terms of definition of parts. So how we keep track.
Just a second, Gautam, it reminded me of something before I forget. So Sandeep said that this week you guys will deploy manage, so that we can looking at the interface.
Okay.
Where are we on that?
Maybe like I have not discussed it. He didn't inform me on this part. Maybe like today is not in office, he's in some client place. So I will ask him like by end of the evening, end of the day, and I will update you tomorrow.
No,
If
it it is essential that it moves also, because you would have noticed that every time we have these meetings and we have these discussions and we are bringing up manage, we will do this in manage, we'll do that in manage. For us to get a better picture, if we have a dummy system, a dummy vault, not a vault, but dummy system.
Yeah, got it. Because Sandeep didn't discuss with me in this point. If I will talk to him today, if it is yes, like I can deploy tomorrow itself. I will have it talk to Srijit and I will start deploying it.
It's better that you discuss with him, because when you speak to our IT for installation and everything, that will also take some time. So
yes,
bear that in mind, that if you can discuss that with him within today, and then also we can deploy it this week. The second thing is if you can get back to us regarding these questions for the bill of material, and we can have a meeting. I want to discuss this process that I mentioned yesterday for the change management, the ECO process. For approval, because we need 5 steps.
Okay. The same way you want for ECO. Yes.
Yeah, same way we want it for the ECO. Plus, I want to change the form for the ECO to what I have. So maybe you need some time to create the links. So for the moment, you are using a default form, right? But we don't want to use default form. We want to use another form. So I can send the form to you, and then today you can make a trial on this and see how you can link different fields to it. How can you link the numbers and etc. And further, tomorrow you can take a session on my computer, and then together we can set up the process.
Sure, Bilal. What I can do is today, I'm occupied with another training. So what I will do is tomorrow I will install manage in the server as well. I can configure in the machine, and parallelly I can work on the ECO part as well. Parallelly, you just send us the new document file for ECO, and currently how we are approving the bill of materials in your organization currently. Just send me if you can able to send me with the blocks. If it is it will be convenient for me, so that we can work on the same in a more better way. If possible, send. Sorry?
Okay, bill of materials. You mean bill of materials? Should we send you?
Generally, currently how you are approving bill of materials in your organization, you can send me this process in a small. I think you know you remember you showcase the complete process in a flow chart.
We have that. We have that.
You can send me that also, so that I can view that and I can analyze what exactly we can do further.
We have the process. It's just how we get to that. But anyway, yeah. So we can have a separate discussion completely on this subject. But these three things we have to keep in mind. One, for bill of materials, the one you mentioned. Second one is for manage, and the third
and the ECO part.
Third one is the ECO part.
Yeah, that will be taken care.
Gautam, when we spoke to Motas related to managed deployment, he was actually suggesting to deploy, like whatever it's, a showcase, an industry showcase. So not an empty deployment, but something that's actually functional, that has, already dashboards and has a bunch of stuff in. So as per my understanding, he was saying that is available, and SolidWorks is providing something like that, like
the thing is like default templates which is having in the manage. Yes, as initially we'll create the same one, so you can able to understand what exactly how we can achieve. Yes.
Just to show how the process is, and how the dashboards are and that sort of stuff. So I'm pretty sure you have a showcase deployment, so it's not an empty system, but it actually shows something. So we can then look into how it's set up and understand a bit, how to get to work.
Yeah, the best would be, because it is using PDM as a vault, as a database. So it obviously it will be linked to our PDM. So we don't want to be doing anything on top of that. But if we can actually, even if it's a showcase vault, but if it's pulling in the dashboards from the data.
Yes, that we can do. And how we have data as of now, in the manage, we cannot able to directly, if you work on manage, we cannot able to see any dashboard data, because its data is empty. So the functionality will be there as a default means only the template will be there, not the data. So if you add PDM DB, PDM object in the manage interface, yes, we can able to pull some data and we can able to see some reports as well.
Yeah, just do that because we want it, you know, we want some functionality because empty doesn't help, does it?
Yes, sure.
Yes.
That I will
Yeah.
work on this. Work
Yeah,
with this.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, then anything is just let me like give me a call, Bilal, so we can work parallelly on this part.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, then. So as of now, like I will like we can close the session and anything is let me know.
Yeah, yeah. And we will be waiting a schedule from your side
Yes,
for
yes, yes, sure, sure,
for
sure.
all.
For these three things, I will be updating you by end of the day or tomorrow in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.